Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to review the latest supernatural horror film. Actually, not supernatural horror film from Shudder. It is called Perpetrator. Yes.
Don't fuck with them hoes.
Now, Perpetrator is a 2023 American horror film. It was written and directed by Jennifer Reeder. The film stars Kia McCarran, Alicia Silverstone, Chris Lowell, and Melanie LeBurn. I believe I pronounced that name correctly. Now, in the film, Johnny is a wild and impulsive teenage girl living precariously in a town where young women continue to go missing and the power she's forced to unlock in order to survive. Yes. Way to go, Johnny. You know, horror fans, I normally start my reviews by giving you guys some background regarding the film's premise or the subgenre that this film is. The film normally is, but this time I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to talk mainly about Jennifer Reeder. While I haven't seen most writer-director Jennifer Reeder's work, other than the Holy Hell prologue wraparound story from VHS 94, which I actually thought was pretty interesting. Now, based upon what I read from IMDb or other articles online, she seems to like to tell stories of coming-in-age stories for girls, involving young women, such as 2017's Signature Move and 2019's Knives to Skin. Now, she's done some other work throughout her career, but that seems to be her focal point. So this leads us to her latest project, which is now airing on the streaming platform Shudder, called Perpetrator. Now, in this story, we're introduced to a girl named Jaquil Johnny Batiste, who breaks into people's houses in order to support herself and her guardian, I guess you might as well say father, named Gene. Now, he's unable to care for her, so Jean ships off Johnny to live with her Aunt Hildy, who all of a sudden makes Johnny attend a local private school. Now, of course, also, meanwhile, girls are going missing in and around the area, and at the same time, Johnny is having some weird health issues, something that has to do with the fact that she's about to turn 18, and she's just having some weird health issues, some weird stuff is happening to her. So can Johnny figure out what's going on with her and find out who's abducting these girls at the same time? That's kind of what Jennifer Reeder's film is about. Now, I'll give Jennifer Reeder some credit in trying to bring some new life and horror when it comes to girls and their coming to age issues. Now, we've seen this type of premise before in other horror movies, such as Ginger Snaps, Raw, and The Crab. Now, while those films tell a more complex and cohesive story, Reader's script has several subplots happening here and mostly really don't go anywhere. And while we do have the main story, I guess that's okay. There are others taking place that change the tone that I believe Reader was going for this film. I mean, one, we have the weird and misogynistic Principal Burke who likes to practice massacre drills for some reason, but it's never explained why he does them. He just does it, and they just accept it, but we don't get any explanation as the reason why he loves doing them. Does he like to embarrass the girls, or... And then we have the popular guy at the school who we find out has dated all the missing girls, but that's never followed up. You would think that, if there's a link between him and the missing girls, he should be looked into. But again, that's not followed up. Then, of course, we have Johnny and her weird power, which Aunt Hildy calls the Forever Ring. And when it's fully unleashed, it plays more like a werewolf about the fur. It's there, we see it. Now, of course, I'm not spoiling anything. It's something that we've seen in the trailers before, so we're really not missing anything when that happens to Johnny. Now, one of the things that did interest me was the imageries that Reeder and his cinematographer, Shudder Castria, I'm pretty sure I messed up the first part of her name, uses this in the film, but it doesn't capture the moment that I believe Reeder was going for, and there's a reason for that. Now, Kia Kinnerman does what she can with Reeder's script, but because of the jumbled mess that it is, she really can't show any type of growth for Johnny because there's really no growth in the character. She just simply goes from one extreme to the next. We see her here in the beginning of the film. The next thing you know, she's going to school, and then next thing you know, she's trying to do something for the other girls in school. It's just one scene to the next, and there's no flow. There's no character growth for Johnny. And that goes for all the other characters in the film as well, whether it's the The kids in the film in the school, there's one particular kid that we think that she's going to be friends with, but that's never followed up in the film at all. There's no character growth in the film at all. There's no real explanation into what Johnny's background is or what the framing is, other than Rita's way of showing of a girl becoming a woman, but we never get any true explanation as what that is. Does her father have this particular thing? Does it only happen to girls? It's really never really explained. Now, I will give Alicia Silverstone credit because she's fine in this one here. It kind of makes up for the awful horror film that she was in the Requiem. Oh, the other plot about the missing girls? Well, that's there, and but it was so predictable that I forgot who that person was when they appeared in the film. Now, there is some nice practical effects that we do get in particular film, particularly, I guess you can say, during that particular part of the film and close to the third act of the film. But then something else happens that comes out of nowhere that makes no sense. It kind of takes away what they were going for. Now, I'm sure Reader had good intentions when she wrote the script, and perhaps it looked pretty good on paper and say, hey, look, this is a good film. I think I got something here. However, the film lacks a clear narrative. It has no character development and too many subplots that lead to nowhere, and it kind of takes away the tone that Reader was going for. It's going for here. This film is a complete and jumbled mess. Now, I had a hard time trying to rank this film here. It's not a bad horror film. I've seen bad horror films before, but I really couldn't give it a fair one because of the jumbled subplots in this particular film. There's really no explanation in what Johnny's actual power is in the particular film. So the best thing I could do is to give Perpetrator only 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. It just fails in its execution. Like I said before, it's probably sounded good on paper when Jennifer wrote the script, but it's executed very poorly. So there you have it. That is my video and review of Perpetrator. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it does help out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen Perpetrator? Like I said, it is airing on Shudder. If you have seen it, tell me what you thought about the film in the comment section below. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way we notify anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. I see you in my next video. That guy stay safe out there.